Let's talk to our NFL insider, Dan Graziano. We just showed some of the lowlights for the Steelers from that Week 5 route. You've talked to the team. Why do they expect it's going to be any different today? This will be the coldest game that they've played in all season. 23 degrees in Week 17 against the Titans was their previous cold. Dan Graziano, go get a Snuggie and head up to the media room and warm up a bit, won't you?
Over to Jeff Saturday at Elle.
Yeah, exactly. So we just heard about Antonio Brown. We don't know if we're going to have a Brown, but they're definitely going to have a Bell. So if they're going to right the ship and flip the script from Week 5, what do you need to see from Le'Veon?
Listen, he is the absolute key of this football game. I don't care who's healthy, who's not. They need to feed Bell and feed him early and often. And they did a pretty decent job. Steelers is going to be huge for Bell in his day, but they have to feed him. Can't be 15 touches. Needs to be 25 to 30 touches in the run game, control the line of scrimmage. And then if Brown can play all the rest of the bells and whistles, great. But Le'Veon Bell's got to be your guy.
Yeah, he averaged just over 3 yards per carry in that game. It looks like maybe they abandoned it, which is why they started going through the areas a little more efficient there. Jeff Saturday telling us what we're going to see today as the Steelers take on the Jags in Pittsburgh. Thanks, Jeff.
Adam Schefter's phone. Breaking news. I'll be invited to prime time. Thank you.
That is Adam Schefter. That is Jeff Saturday. That is Elle Duncan. I am only Matt Berry. We're going to try to make sense.
Yeah, the city being Pittsburgh, where Jeff Darlington will joins us live right now. Talk about that Week 5 performance, and it was dominating. But how confident are the Jags that they can do that again? Came up big, but the offense back then as well, we just saw they put up 30 points. Last week, not so much. It was an offensive pillow fight between them and the Bills. So how are the Jags going to fix some of those issues as they take on a much more capable offense?
They do not want a pillow fight.
People, especially around here, that seem to think the Jags are the most complete team in all of the playoffs. We'll see that on display. A kick just a few hours from now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Jeff Darlington with the latest. Thanks, Jeff.
Then. So Brian Robeson telling me we are very disciplined at setting the edge, whether it's with the linebacker or the 3 technique. So even if the center or the guard are pulling Linval Joseph out wide, he does a great job shutting it back down inside. Elle, back to you.
Thank you, Josina Anderson, joining us live from Minnie.
Jeff and Tim joining us live as well. And we're going to talk about this game in particular, the Saints defense. They actually play defense now in New Orleans.
They do.
But when you watch this tape, what are you seeing that they're not getting out of the secondary?
Well, I'm concerned about how aggressive they are with their play caller. Dennis Allen, what he does is he's so aggressive with their play call, and oftentimes it doesn't make sense. If you want to play zero coverage, then bring a pressure to get home. Yeah. When you don't bring a pressure to get home, it makes the quarterback's job so easy as well as the receivers.
It was not the quarterback's job easy made last time we saw the Steelers and the Jags. By the way, I love that both divisional games are rematches from the regular season. But Ben Roethlisberger had 5 interceptions in that game, and so when you see how the Jags DBs handled, you could say manhandled Ben Roethlisberger, watching the tape, what do you think could resonate today in this rematch?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think Ben's going to throw 5 again today. I mean, there were some that it wasn't just tips, it wasn't just mistakes. It was players making big plays in both those situations on that backside.
You mentioned the back end of the Jacksonville defense. Let's talk about that front end of those.
I mean, 55 attempts. I mean, you're not starting there. I mean, I think that's the other aspect of it. Look at Jacksonville defense.
Absolutely. And to your point, Bell only had 15 carries. I think you need 25. Now, he had 10 catches. They were short catches kind of out of the backfield, but I think you need 25. Make this a ground and pound style game. And to your point, your best player is Bell. I don't care if Brown's healthy or not. Bell will carry this offense. If you can get the ball to him and he makes those plays, that offensive line, that's the weakness of the Jaguars. If you can run it at them and keep them honest, because if they pin their ears back and they can rush the passer with those guys on the backside, advantage Jacksonville. So keep them honest, keep your third downs at 3rd and short or manageable, and then you have a real shot at putting up some points.
Very quickly, because we're about to get off air here, I do want to ask you, we just heard Randy Moss say he thinks it's actually better for the Steelers if AB doesn't play. I heard Lou Riddick say even if he's just playing as a decoy, he needs to be on the field. Where do you fall?
Yeah, on the field. Listen, he was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. I never think your best players, you don't want him there. I don't care how much more balanced people think. He needs to be on the field if he can play.
Listen, he helped.
ESPN2.
NFL Countdown, though, right now on ESPN.
Predictions, quick, prediction.
I'm going to go Steelers, and I'm going to go Vikings.
Jags and